Introduction. America's trade policies under the Trump administration triggered retaliatory tariffs and trade bans from major global partners like China, Canada, and the European Union. These actions had far-reaching consequences on crucial sectors of the U.S. economy, significantly impacting agriculture, high-tech industries, manufacturing, energy, and consumer prices. Particularly noteworthy is China's recent suspension of 3 major American soybean importers and an additional 10% tariff imposed on U.S. soybeans. Here's an in-depth analysis of these events and their consequences for the American economy. Impact of retaliatory tariffs on American industries. 1. Agricultural sector. A direct hit to the heartland. China's response included severe measures against American agricultural products, particularly soybeans, corn, and poultry. Recently, China suspended 3 major American soybean importers and imposed a substantial 10% tariff on American soybean imports. Given that U.S. soybean exports to China reached nearly $22 billion in 2024 alone, these measures dealt a significant blow to farmers, particularly in Midwestern states, historically strong Trump supporters. Consequences. 1. Immediate financial crises for farmers. 2. Rising debt and increased bankruptcy filings in the agricultural sector. 3. Economic instability and unemployment spreading across rural America. 4. Ripple effects negatively impacting agricultural suppliers and local businesses. 2. High-tech and defense industries. Under threat. China's strategic response also targeted critical U.S. high-tech sectors, including semiconductors, military equipment, and advanced technologies by controlling exports of rare earth minerals. These minerals are essential for manufacturing smartphones, computers, and sophisticated military gear. With China's dominance over these resources, American companies face serious disruptions in their supply chains. Consequences. 1. Increased manufacturing costs, leading to higher consumer prices. 2. Significant delays in production, affecting both civilian tech companies and defense contractors. 3. Reduced competitiveness of American technology companies globally, potentially allowing other countries to dominate tech innovation. 3. Energy sector crisis. Canada's tariff. Retaliation. Canada swiftly retaliated against U.S. tariffs by imposing a 25% tariff on electricity exports to America, particularly affecting states like Michigan, Minnesota, and New York, which depend heavily on Canadian hydroelectric power. Canada's aggressive response risks severe energy shortages, potentially triggering spikes in electricity costs and destabilizing industries that rely on stable energy supplies. 4. Escalating consumer prices and inflationary pressures. With retaliatory tariffs imposed on diverse U.S. products, American consumers now face steep price increases on everything from daily essentials to advanced technology and cars. Rising consumer goods prices directly impact household purchasing power, causing inflationary pressures that can spiral into broader economic slowdown and instability. 4. Increased unemployment and economic instability. The ripple effects of retaliatory tariffs could lead to reduced competitiveness of American businesses, causing widespread disruptions in supply chains. Businesses struggling to manage higher costs could scale down operations or shut down, leading to rising unemployment. Higher unemployment would further diminish consumer spending and slow economic recovery efforts, creating long-term damage to the American economy. 5. Long-term strategic isolation and reduced competitiveness. China, alongside partners such as Russia, Latin America, and the EU, is actively creating alternative trade networks. By diversifying away from the U.S., China reduces dependence on American imports and technology, thus weakening America's long-term economic influence. If these trends persist, U.S. companies will face growing competitive pressures in markets they previously dominated. Key consequences. Summarized. 1. Agriculture. Severe financial distress for American farmers due to tariffs and bans, especially soybean farmers, with bankruptcies becoming more common. 2. High-tech and defense vulnerability. Production delays and increased costs due to restricted access to rare earth minerals, leading to weakened defense capabilities and loss of competitive edge. 3. Energy crisis. Rising electricity prices and potential energy shortages from Canadian tariffs. 4. Consumer price inflation. Escalating prices of everyday consumer products and reduced consumer spending power. 5. Long-term economic damage. Loss of global competitiveness. Weakened diplomatic ties and isolation in global trade partnerships. Conclusion. The retaliatory tariffs and trade bans from America's key trading partners have significantly impacted crucial sectors of the U.S. economy, from agriculture and high-tech to energy and consumer markets. The specific targeting of American soybean importers by China exemplifies how precise and politically calculated these actions have become. Unless the U.S. strategically reassesses its tariff policies, the economy will face prolonged instability, decreased global competitiveness, and sustained economic hardships across multiple sectors. The American government must carefully consider the economic consequences of protectionist policies before moving forward.